Are you ready to dive in the world of project management? Hit that subscribe button as we explore how to stay relevant in an agile workforce. Right now, the Olympics in 2024 are going on. It's August of 2024, and I've been in amazement watching all the Olympic athletes show off their talents, whether it's gymnastics, track and field, swimming. I'm seeing all their talents and their excitement after they hoist their medals high in the sky and they show that pride of their flags. Even though I know that it took years for those athletes to get to that stage, I am in amazement just like all the other individuals, and I forget about the time and effort that they put in to get to that place. Only their family and friends, close friends, may know the true amount of work and effort that they put in day after day to get to that stage. It looks easy for them. It looks like it was a flick of the wrist. It looks like they were just gliding through the air. It looks like they can fly on the track. However, it could have been years. You may have had many failures. And I'll admit this is very similar to what you might experience on that PMP exam. A lot of individuals don't pass that exam. I'm gonna be upfront and real with you. Most people will not pass that exam on their first time. I did not pass the exam on my first time. You're gonna see a lot of videos on YouTube where people are gonna say, I passed the exam on my first time. Yes, those individuals have a lot to be happy about, and trust me, we have a lot of individuals that go through our program and pass on their first time, and we want that. The reason why I didn't pass on my first time is because I went through a boot camp that fire hosed me with information. I felt confident, but all I knew was terms and definitions. I did not know the real world applications, and when I sat in front of that exam, I was overwhelmed. I was confused. I was looking at paragraphs before it was even the question. There were a lot of red herrings, questions that were trying to trick me. By the time I got to question 100, I was wondering, did I already answer a lot of these questions? Is this a repeat? These are things that you do not want to experience. And when you actually go through a real program, an authorized training partner program, you won't have to deal with these levels of uncertainty and feeling like you are prepared for that exam. The authorized training program from PMI has only been around since 2020. One of the things that they do is they empower us. So I mean authorized training partners, organizations. We are organizations or project management professionals that are trainers that go through a training program to make sure that we understand critical ways of how to teach individuals in a modern environment. It's completely different than the old environment where people were coming in to classrooms. And like I mentioned, it was PowerPoint. We just read terms and definitions, but we were sent home. There was no accountability to make sure that we had done our questions. I probably only went through maybe 100 exam questions before sitting through that actual exam. I should have went through 1,000 or a couple thousand. Those are critical things that you will learn from an authorized training partner program, because as you know, just in regular life, training is tailored towards the individual. It's not one size fits all. When you go to a gym, they can't just say, here, this is what is for you. They have to assess where you're at. Those are things that we do. We have time to do that. We want to work with you. You're not just a person that we're just trying to churn and burn. Trust me. If PMI saw as us as an authorized training partner, that we were just churning and burning individuals like what I had experienced before, we wouldn't be able to remain in that program. They wouldn't want that to be part of their reputation. They want to make sure that individuals that go through ours or other organizations or individuals that are authorized training partners, that they feel confident and ready. Our content is licensed from PMI. We can't modify it. It's not our original content. Yes, we provide other additional supplemental content, but it's from PMI. Like I mentioned, these are the ones that create this exam. Now, I also recommend using other diverse training materials because there's other YouTube content creators, there are other study guides, there are other various different tools out there on the internet. Use those as supplemental resources because trust me, it's not a one size fits all. The internet is vast and wide, I'm telling you. And you want to really buckle down and try to get as broad and wide and see how much resources and material you can potentially get, and then pinpoint where your weaknesses are. like I said, it's all about pinpointing where your weaknesses are. So I wanted to talk about those two things that really made me successful with accomplishing this exam: grit and agility. Grit, like I mentioned, you're going to have to overcome a lot of obstacles. There's going to be roadblocks, things that are going to try to redirect you, push you off course, make you feel overwhelmed. You're going to have to persevere. You're going to have to stay focused. That's going to be that grit. It's going to have to make you want to persevere. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You might fail just like me, but trust me, that grit, understand that it's going to take incremental steps. It's not something that's just going to happen overnight. You got to put those blinders on. Don't be that individual that's looking around, trying to see what everyone else is doing and then getting past. Focus on your race. That's a lot of those champions that you're seeing, whether it's in the pool, whether it's in gymnastics or any of those events. One thing you see is they're focused, they're determined. They had a lot of grit. They were also agile too. They knew that whatever wasn't working, they're gonna have to change. They're open to change. They're open to feedback, because the more feedback that you get, and a lot of that feedback that you're gonna get are gonna be from those exam questions, those practice exam questions. The more you take, the better prepared you're gonna be. I can tell you that the most. Do not try to think that this is something that you can just walk right through. Just understand terms and definitions. That's the Project Plus. That may be even the CAP-M, understanding terms and definitions and being able to recognize. But if you just understand terms and definitions, you're gonna look for terms and definitions and you're not gonna see them, because that's not reality. Reality is not just terms and definitions, it's actual real world scenarios. And that's how they make that exam. So we'll discuss further, but as I recommend, definitely make sure that you start first with PMI resources. Make sure that you diversify, follow us, subscribe, go to our webpage. And like I mentioned, there are a lot of resources out there. Make sure that they're trusted and vetted as well when you're going through your training, but we're here to help you. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more project management content. See you on the next one.